Tim, you are Director of Media Analysis, and your Newsbusters website has many examples of the bias, especially against the president. As bold as he can be on Twitter, the media definitely wasn't quiet. What are a couple of examples of this?
Well, I mean, we see it every day. I mean, I think that there is a tendency on the part of the media to not just simply see President Trump as a bad president. I think they tend to present him as an evil president. They tend to compare him to Hitler. We had an example where Joe Scarborough on MSNBC suggested that his policy on the border, where they were separating illegal alien parents and their children, he was comparing it to like Nazi death camps or what Hitler did. It's that sort of hyperbole where you just look at them and say, how on earth are you saying something like this? And how on earth would you suggest that you, the journalists, are the ones who are careful about facts, unlike the president and his supporters?
Amazing. Do you see anything changing for 2019?
I think obviously the political environment changes with the Democrats taking control of the House. So I think what we'll be looking for is that whole idea of they always find lots of extreme behavior from conservative Republicans. They find lots of extreme rhetoric from conservative Republicans. And obviously, we'll be showing examples of what we consider to be extreme rhetoric from liberal Democrats and socialists, the Bernie Sanders, the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortezes, the Maxine Waters people, the people screaming for impeachment. None of those people will be presented as unreasonable or extreme. And that's one of the things we'll be looking for.
Absolutely. And what's the concern here beyond the bias? Is it the culture overall?
Well, I think that what's funny about all of this, and we've, again, something that's perennial, but it's gotten nastier. Obviously, social media, when we're all looking at each other's social media, and social media like Twitter is so prominent in the news coverage, we get this idea that somehow the political culture is nasty in a historic way when they forget little things like the Civil War. But obviously, people aren't restrained, and people to some extent get rewarded for being obnoxious. But I think what they tend to miss or what they downplay is that liberals are plenty obnoxious. They somehow present this as something that only Trump causes. I think it's quite obvious that incivility is a two-way street.
Absolutely. Tim, do you see our nation ever being able to come together and show respect despite political and social differences?
Well, democracy is messy. And, I would say to you, I like a little partisanship. I like a little debate. But what you have to be able to do is to be able to do that in a way that doesn't presume that your adversary is evil or stupid. And that's the problem we have sometimes, is that you want to suggest to people, I can respect the thing you're trying to say. And I can respect that what you would like the country to be can be an idealistic vision of how you want America to be, even if I totally disagree with it. So often we would suggest the other person what they really want is some sort of horrible Nazi dictatorship or something, when it's not at all what people want. They want you to stand for the national anthem or something.
Indeed. Tim Graham, thank you so much for your time.